Did you hear what happened in the debate? Turns out Trump is dishonest, and Biden might be too old to be president. If only someone warned us.
Tired of being what you want me to be, feeling so faithless, lost under the surface.
Joe!
Don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes.
Oh, Joe. I got you, Joe. I got you, Joe. Don't worry, Joe. I'll bring you back to life, Joe. I'll bring you back to life.
I've become so numb.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad because opinions changed for Joe Biden. I mean, not for me, but opinions changed for Joe Biden. No opinions changed for Donald Trump. The media and people can keep on with he lied constantly. He lied constantly. I got bad news for you. You're not going to win this election because Donald Trump is a liar. You're not. And how many times are you going to ask Donald Trump if he will accept the results of the election and then be shocked when he doesn't immediately say yes? Donald Trump has not accepted the results of the 2016 election. If you ask him right now today, do you still think you won the popular vote over Hillary? He would say, yup, 3 million illegals voted for Hillary. His answer from now on until forever to that question is no. He will not accept the outcome of the election no matter what. Please stop asking it. And definitely, please stop getting shocked at his answer. But let's go back. No, my opinion of Joe Biden hasn't changed. What was the first thing I said? The first thing I said in my pre-debate episode 2 days before the election, I said we are 2 days away from all of us asking, are you sure these are our only two choices? That was the first thing I said 30 seconds into that episode. What was the second thing I said? I said there would be no winner, only losers, and the losers would be the American people. What was the third thing I said? I said the debate rules were stupid and could very well hurt Biden more than Trump. I even specifically said Biden has a tendency to wander off in the middle of a sentence and lose his train of thought, and you don't want that uncomfortable silence when that happens. And what was the fourth thing I said? I said Trump is going to be dishonest. I said he's going to be dishonest, but be careful with him because he's quick on his feet and he's going to land some blows. I said all of that. Am I bragging? No. Seriously, I'm not. I just don't want you to feel like you're alone because I know you felt it too. I'm just here to say it, but we all could have predicted what was going to happen. I'm no smarter than you. You knew what was going to happen in that debate if you listen to this show. You think I have the ability to travel through time and went 2 days into the future and saw the debate and then came back to do a podcast? If I had that power, I wouldn't be using it to do a podcast. I guarantee you that. I got to calm down. And you know what I got to do now? I got to restart my campaign. If you listened a couple months ago to my episode, Biden versus Trump versus me, I laid out what my presidency would look like, but I had to suspend my campaign at the end of the episode for personal reasons. Well, now I got to restart it. I got to restart my campaign, and I really want to win now. I really want to become president now because I want to be president so I can get that very first tippity top of the top secret intelligence briefing in the Situation Room. And my first question is going to be, Donald Trump. Seriously, Donald Trump. Is he a hologram or is he a robot? And they're going to look at me and they're going to say, hologram. And I knew it. I'm going to look at my Trump supporting friends who I'm going to bring with me and get them security clearance just so they can hear this. I'm going to say, I told you there's no way that's a real person. I told you that. And I'm going to say, that's why he's a hologram. They haven't figured out how to make a hologram laugh. That's why you've never seen Donald Trump laugh. And I'm going to ask him, how long has this been going on? And they're going to tell me, 30 years. 30 years? 30? Where's the real Donald Trump been? They're going to tell me, where else? in prison. I'm going to say, yup, of course, that makes sense. Yup. And I'm going to ask them, who did this? Whose idea was all of this? And they're going to say, Steven Spielberg. I'm going to say, I know it, of course. If it had been a snake, it would have bit me. It all makes sense now. Because that's the only thing that explains someone like Donald Trump. He can't be a real person. I told you, the man lies like he's getting paid $1 for every single one. I'll concede that. And yes, I will concede it is difficult to debate someone like that. And yes, Donald Trump did not answer a ton of questions. That's all true. But come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Who is advising you? Who was advising you 2 weeks at Camp David doing debate prep with someone playing the role of Donald Trump? No one can play Donald Trump but Trump. So that was your first mistake. All that debate prep, filling Joe's head with useless information. If Joe doesn't know what he needs to know by now, we got a problem. No, the prep Joe Biden needs and needed was how to debate, because he's horrible at it. I said it in the last episode. He's not going to do well. At best, he'll be average because he's not a good debater. It's not what he's good at. So the prep he needed was to try and make him a better debater, not a whole bunch of policy gobbledygook. That was never going to make a difference against Donald Trump. I've done this before, but let's run through it again. Debating, communication, it's like being a salesman. It's like trying to sell a car. If Biden had any business-minded, clever people, not just smart people, but clever, non-political people around him, they would tell him, Joe, you're a salesman. You have to be likable, but not a pushover. A little corny, but not sleazy. Confident and firm, but not pushy and annoying. Knowledgeable and informative, but not condescending. And above all, Joe, you have to listen. You have to listen to the objections that you're getting to your sales pitch. You want to know why Joe missed opportunity after opportunity to rebut Donald Trump's lies? Because he wasn't listening. He may have looked like he was at times, but he wasn't. He wasn't listening. Joe was thinking about his last answer and his next answer. He was thinking about all that gobbledygook that they filled his head with. He wasn't listening to Donald Trump. That's why he missed all those opportunities. You can say what you want about Donald Trump, but he is a businessman. He is a salesman. And that's why he rarely missed an opportunity to seize on a Biden mistake, because he's listening. He hears what Biden says. When Biden says, I killed Medicare, Trump is right there, boom, right on it. Yeah, he did kill Medicare. He's listening. You need a demonstration? Is that what you need to help Joe out for the next time? All right, let's do a demonstration. You know what? I'm going to time it. I'm going to time my demonstration. Hang on a second. Okay, here we go. Debate starts. Hi, I'm Joe Biden, and I'm running to be elected president of the United States. It's funny, corny, okay, likable. Mr. President, what would you do to lower the cost of child care? That's a great question. Great question. I'm so glad we can talk about this because it's weighing heavily on a lot of people. There's a tremendous need because the cost of child care has skyrocketed in the past several years, outpacing inflation. Yeah, but I think this car just costs too much. I can't afford it. That's a legitimate complaint. I can see you've done your homework. Appreciate that. Let me explain. Because child care costs are so high, many people find they're working just to pay for child care with very little left over. So many people decide to leave the workforce and stay home to care for the child. This puts a strain on the labor market, increasing labor costs and therefore prices. If we can contribute through child care assistance to people going back to work, the program essentially pays for itself through increased tax revenue because people are working, and those same people won't have to rely as heavily on other assistance like maybe SNAP benefits because they will have more money left over. That all sounds nice, but what about this other car your competitor sells? I respect that you want to make a comparison. I want you to compare. I encourage you to. And I'm confident that because of your good judgment, you will see my plan is better. How long? How long? How long did that take me? Minute and a half? I can tighten it up a bit if I need to. And I don't even know if I agree with all of that. If you ask me in a debate, how can we lower the cost of childcare? I'd say tell people stop having kids. That'd be my answer. So I don't even know if I agree with that answer, but I can do it on command. How come Joe Biden can't? How come he can't? And here's the crazy thing. Biden is a good communicator. He's good at schmoozing with people. He has no problem there. The problem is when he gets into a debate, he tries to turn into something that he's not because he has people around him convincing him he has to come across as this, or he has to show the American people that he's that. He has to be something that he's not. That's why he struggles in these debates. Could his age have something to do with it? Of course, sure. No question. But his age also had something to do with him falling down every 5 seconds. You didn't have a problem with that, apparently. Forgive me, but I get more worried about a guy who can't walk a flight of steps being president than a guy who gets tongue-tied in a debate. Especially when I know why he's getting tongue-tied. I don't know why he can't walk a flight of steps. I know why he's getting tongue-tied. Like I said, they're putting him in a position, they're filling his head with too much information, and they're trying to make him out to be something that he's not. Shaquille O'Neal was a great basketball player. Fantastic, one of the best. Some really smart people thought it would be a good idea to put him in a movie, make him an actor, make him a genie in a movie. Mariah Carey, great singer, one of the best all time. Some really smart people decided to be a good idea to make her the lead in a movie called Glitter. Really smart people thought it'd be a good idea to let Elon Musk host Saturday Night Live. And it was weird and it was uncomfortable because he's weird because he got the Asperger's. So it wasn't great and he didn't get rave reviews. Shaq is not an actor. He's a basketball player. Mariah Carey is not an actor. She's a singer. Elon Musk is not a comedian. He's an entrepreneur and the richest man in the world because of it. Let them be who they are and let Joe be who he is. And he'll be just fine. Try and turn him into something he's not and you'll get another disaster. That's my message for Joe's pitiful advisors that he needs to fire immediately. Been saying that for I don't know how long. Now, my message for the media? Thank you. Thank you, media. Thank you specifically to, guess who? Morning Joe on MSNBC. Yes, thank you for being honest and not trying to spin or sugarcoat what we all witnessed on that stage. I've been very hard on the media, especially the liberal media, especially Joe Scarborough on MSNBC when it came to Biden in these past several months. So credit where credit is due when they get it right. I'm sure Morning Joe will be right back to lathering Biden up next week, but so be it. So be it. Thank you at least for being honest in your coverage about the debate. Let's listen.
When President Biden stumbled, then totally lost his train of thought and almost dropped his head in resignation, only to be saved by Jake Tapper asking the follow-up question of President Trump. That was a moment where I said, oh my God, has he had a stroke? What has happened?
Yeah.
It was so dramatic. It was jaw-dropping. And I felt so badly for our president. I wanted to hug him. Why didn't someone bring him a glass of water? Didn't they have any water there? Why was that microphone 6 miles away from his mumbling mouth, his stumbling, mumbling? I mean, he did rally at times. He did show the true grit that we love. He did, especially speaking about his son, of course, and calling out Trump as a liar. I think that what happened here cannot be minimized.
That's Geraldo Rivera on News Nation. You never know what to make of him, but I want to try and give you a cross-section of the media.
Well, I think there were many missed opportunities. We wanted a couple of doubles, a few singles. And yes, we wanted him to hit it out of the ballpark. But the fact is that I think the president was trying to not only get his message across, which at times he had a hard time, but he was also trying to set a narrative, set a pace, and he never really got an opportunity to reach that point. So I believe it was a missed opportunity. Will it change the trajectory of the race? perhaps on the margins, but that's why we have 131 days.
That's former DNC chair, former White House chief of staff, under who? I don't know. Under Clinton, maybe? Donna Brazile. She's about as nice as you're going to get on the Democratic side when it comes to the reaction to the debate. So if she comes out and doesn't really have anything great to say, you know it's bad.
House Vice President Kamala Harris. Madam Vice President, thanks for being with us. CNN's John King has described a panic inside the Democratic Party right now because of President Biden's performance in tonight's debate. Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
Listen, first of all, what we saw tonight is the president making a very clear contrast with Donald Trump on all of the issues that matter to the American people. Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong finish. And what became very clear through the course of the night is that Joe Biden is fighting on behalf of the American people, on substance, on policy, on performance.
And but I'm sorry, on substance and policy and performance tonight, I mean, the president's performance tonight clearly was disappointing for his supporters. CNN is reporting Democratic lawmakers watching the debate were worried about the president's performance. One said it was a disaster. Another called it a train wreck.
Listen, people can debate on style points, but ultimately this election and who is the president of the United States has to be about substance. And the contrast is clear. Look at what happened during the course of the debate. Donald Trump lied over and over and over again, as he is wont to do.
All that may be true. All that may be true. But the president of the United States was not able to make that case to Donald Trump on the stage tonight.
Anderson, the point has to be performance in terms of what a president does. A president who incites an insurrection against the Capitol. No, but I got the point that you're making about a 1.5 hour debate tonight. I'm talking about 3.5 years of performance in work that has been historic.
But whether it be infrastructure, the man who we saw on the stage tonight, is that the other guy on the debate stage?
The person that you saw on the debate stage that has, for the last 3.5 years, up until today, performed in a way that has been about, whether it be in the Oval Office, negotiating bipartisan deals so that we have an infrastructure, a real infrastructure plan where we're putting trillions of dollars on the streets of America to upgrade our infrastructure. Whether it be the person I see in the Oval Office who is meeting with heads of the military and the intelligence community and in the Situation Room, ensuring the safety of America. The person I see in Joe Biden on the world stage, convening world leaders who often ask for his advice, most recently just during the G7 conference. So I'm not going to spend all night with you talking about the last 90 minutes.
I mean, can you say that you are not concerned at all having watched the president's performance tonight?
It was a slow start. That's obvious to everyone. I'm not going to debate that point.
Yeah, it was a slow start. Who the heck was that, Kamala? Biden might want to mention he has a vice president next election. Help you out with the black vote, at least. I mean, I haven't heard from her in 3 years. That's the most I've heard from her in 3 years since I heard her say Beyonce saved country music for black people. I mean, you might want to put her out there a little bit more, Joe. Just a suggestion. But that's some clips from the media. So we arrive to the question now. Right or wrong, Joe Biden should be replaced as the nominee for the Democratic Party. Right or wrong? Shame on you. Shame on you if you say right. Shame, shame, shame. Shame on whoever these anonymous, high-ranking Democrats are that they keep referring to. Oh, there's high-ranking Democrats behind closed doors who are in a panic mode. Shame on them. Joe Biden is not an empty roll of paper towels you can just replace. The arrogance of these people. They spend the last 3.5 years telling us he's the greatest thing to come along in 50 years. Some say the best president ever. Then he has a bad debate because he's bad at debating and has been his whole career, and they think they can just switch him out Like a blonde roommate on the TV show Three's Company? Get us another blonde. And we're all just supposed to accept that? We're all just supposed to go along with that? We're supposed to accept whoever they decide to throw up next? The arrogance of these people. How about taking a minute to look at your own failings? When the American people, the vast majority of the American people, over 75%, told you they were not happy with these two choices. But we were told, well, if you're not happy with Biden, you must be stupid. Get over it. If you're upset about Biden because of his age, you're stupid. Age equals experience. Get over it. No, you can't have a primary challenger like Dean Phillips. We won't allow it. We won't even hold a primary in Florida. No, you can't have Biden debate other Democrats. No, get over it. Biden's your choice. Accept Biden or leave the party. And now all of a sudden, they're going to tell us, don't worry, we're going to pick somebody else for you. We got to replace Biden. Oh, no. No. I'm sorry. It's ride or die time with Joe Biden. That's the position you wanted. That's the position you're in. I'm not accepting another candidate. I don't care who you throw up there. Just like all those good Republicans out there who are stuck with Donald Trump right now. Stuck with Donald Trump. That man stood up on that debate stage all these years later and still hasn't figured out that saying that you took cognitive tests is embarrassing. He still hasn't figured that out. If there was one thing that Joe, I wish he had rebutted Donald Trump on, it was when Donald Trump was bragging about acing those cognitive tests. He still hasn't figured out that the fact that they had to ask you to take a cognitive test and the fact that you took it proves there is something seriously wrong with you. That is not something to be bragging about. That people around you thought you were crazy enough that they needed to give you a cognitive. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. This is what we're stuck with. This is what we're stuck with. So what do we do? What do we do? I'll tell you what we do. Stop listening to the people who got us into this position in the first place. That's what we do. Stop listening to these people. The same exact people who got us into this position are the same exact people telling us, okay, we can switch Biden out with a cardboard cutout of Michelle Obama and nobody will notice. They're idiots. They're idiots and they are corrupted by their own arrogance and the need to make money. Politico, Occupy Democrats, Midas Touch Media, all the websites, all the social media hucksters that think it's their job to pick who we get to vote for. They spent the last 3 years making money, building up their followers on social media into millions and millions of followers by constantly posting, oh, Trump is crazy. Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene is crazy. Oh, Lauren Boebert is crazy. Biden is awesome. Biden is awesome. They spent the last 3 years building up a network of followers, making money, and then hours after a bad debate, they're going to make themselves the authority on telling us it's over for Biden and time to move on? This is who we want you to think is the end-all, be-all now. Oh, Mayor Pete, maybe. Maybe Whitmer. Maybe Governor Whitmer. Maybe Kamala Harris. Maybe Gavin Newsom. Yeah, they're the ones we want to cram down your throats now. Well, with all due respect to the pundits and the pollsters and the prognosticators and the social media influencers, F you. With all due respect, excuse my language. Joe Biden may not be able to form a coherent sentence in a debate, but none of you are fit to wipe his snotty nose if he really did have a cold. Ooh, I got fired up. I got fired up there. I'm sorry. I apologize for my outburst. I'm sick of these people. Sick of them. They tell us Biden walks on water, then next thing you know, oh, no, don't worry. We're going to find somebody else for you. I've had it. I've had it with all of this nonsense. But I ain't going to worry. I ain't going to worry. I'm going to be happy.
Here's a little song I wrote. Might want be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry, Joe. Don't you worry. Don't worry, Jill. Don't worry, Hunter. How bad can prison be? Don't worry. Be happy. And don't you worry either. This is America. This is America. We'll figure it out somehow, some way. I don't know how, don't ask me how, but we'll figure all this out. Don't worry.
You got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed, but don't worry. Be happy. The landlord says your rent is late. He may have to litigate, but don't worry.
Are you absolutely sure Barack Obama can't be president again? How about we cut a deal? We'll cut a deal. We'll drop all charges against Donald Trump if you let Barack Obama have one more term. No? You're not gonna do that? All right. I'll think of something else. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get podcasts. I'll see you next time.